Testing, testing. Can you hear me?
Okay, our radios seem to be working. Is the camera working?
Yes.
Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. This is Rachel.
And I'm Poe.
We're reporting for Creature Casts from the Deep.
We're on location 40 feet under the Pacific Ocean off the coast of Hawaii. In front of us is a sponge with some pretty impressive biology.
For a long time, most people looked at sponges and thought,
these don't move. They must be plants.
But in 1765, scientists realized
sponges create water currents through their bodies. These are animals.
Today, with modern tools like high-power microscopes, we can examine sponges on a smaller scale.
It turns out that, even though the sponge itself can't move, parts of it are moving around inside its body.
Traversing the world of every sponge are the archaeocytes, carrier cells that roam like amoebas through the sponge's middle layer.
Like all good travelers, archaeocytes are flexible, in fact, remarkably so. They are the jacks of all trades, providing a multitude of services to the sponge. They can digest food particles, store digested food material, and remove waste from the sponge. A type of cell derived from archaeocytes helps build the framework of the sponge by manufacturing small supports called spicules. They even produce gametes, which are expelled when it's time for the sponges to reproduce.
Beyond just helping with everyday function, archaeocytes help sponges overcome adversity. When a sponge is faced with harsh environmental conditions, it produces gemmules, hardy packets of archaeocyte-derived cells. Gemmules are resistant to freezing, desiccation, and lack of oxygen, and they're quite the travelers too. They can float around for months before finding a home. When they sail into more nurturing conditions, the archaeocyte-derived cells replicate and differentiate, making everything a sponge needs to grow and thrive.
Does the amazing flexibility of archaeocytes sound familiar?
It turns out that archaeocytes are much like human stem cells.
Both are master cells that can develop into any cell in the body.
In humans, adult stem cells act as a repair system for the body, able to differentiate into any needed cell type for the human's whole life.
Adult archaeocytes, on the other hand, remain in that final amoeboid state, traveling around the sponge to perform their duties, digesting food, storing food, expelling waste, building supports, and producing gametes.
Far from being plants, sponges are incredibly dynamic animals with similarities to ourselves. The more we learn about them as research progresses, the prouder we should be to share a branch on the phylogenetic tree.
This Creature Cast from the Deep was produced by Rachel Kaplan.